Hey guys, I figured I would make a short video. I gotta walk out to the trash bin and take this trash that was in this vehicle out to the trash bin, and I figured I'd film for a second to show y'all what the weather looks like. It's really windy out here and it feels like it's turning cooler by the seconds, and the sky is really dark and gray and dreary looking, overcast or whatever you want to call it. And like I said, it's very windy, breezy out here. It feels like it's going to snow, and it looks like it's going to snow, in other words. Excuse me. And so that's what the weather looks like. Looks like it's going to snow. Every now and then too, I'll feel like a little droplet of something on me or whatever. There's a big old leaf. Here's some moss in this ditch. But yeah, it looks like and it feels like it's gonna snow. So that's what the weather looks like. Figured I'd just show you all that right fast. I gotta take out this trash to the bin. I'll wait on this vehicle to pass, because there's getting ready to be a vehicle come by. I'm out here in my flip-flops, my cut-off pajama pants bottoms, and a t-shirt. I got a big old dog stuck out the window. It's a cute little doggy. Had a little black eye patch around it. It's cute. I don't know what kind it is. It's still looking. It's cute. But anyways, yeah, that's cat litter all right there. See how the mud puddles are and how the septic's leaking all around the yard there. It always does, even whenever we get it fixed. But that's cat litter in all those bags. They're really heavy. And here's a box. And in here is just regular trash. But it definitely feels like it's going to start snowing. And it's getting breezy and windy and stuff. So that's what the weather looks like. I think we're going to get snow, which we should anyways. We should be getting some snow. Y'all keep in mind of that sign. I'm just telling you. Keep in mind of that sign. It means what it says. This is private property for all this down here on this road. All this road from the bridge up there at the church house at Blair Branch all the way down. This is private property. Do not come on this property at all. You're not invited. But unless if you live here, do not come here. This is private property. So I'm just warning you guys. But anyways, yes, it looks like and feels like it's going to snow. I think the wind will bring in that snow too. I wonder what that is. I don't know what that is up there on that mountain. I'm going to try to see if I can scroll it in so you guys can see. It's awful odd color, brightly odd colored for us to be going into the winter time. Now that all the leaves are gone on the trees, and there's something yellow right there. Something brightly colored, like a bush or shrub. I don't know what that is. Look at that. That looks like a face now that I scrolled back. The mouth, the nose, the eyeballs. Looks like a face in the mountain. Yes, I'm weird like that. I'm always looking at stuff and pointing out what I think things look like. Since I've already went over a short video, sorry you guys, I'll just go ahead and finish this video off by walking out here to the pond and showing y'all the pond, what it looks like now, what color it is, since we're going into winter time of year and stuff. So it's pretty clear today, the pond is. It's just brown colored, you know, going into those darker colors where we're going into a different time of year and stuff. But I don't see any algae or fungus or anything like that right now. I don't see any fish in here on next to the bank nesting or nothing either. So, but they probably switch where they nest out every year. I don't know. I don't know too much about things like that where I don't really fish or nothing. Looks like there's some rust colored mixed into that clay there. Try to scroll in for you. But other than that, the pond looks like it's pretty clear looking and stuff compared to how it usually is. Let y'all listen for a second. Oh, that's a leaf in the pond. I was wanting to know what that was, so darker colored there. The leaf blew into the pond there. But yeah, the pond looks nice and clear looking compared to how it normally does. Today is November the 30th, 2025. It's Sunday. It's the last day of the month for November. It's also my youngest daughter's 16th birthday. I don't know what I'm going to do for her yet, to be honest, because right now I'm broke, unfortunately. So I'll probably have to make it up to her later on when I can afford it. And seems like that's what I'm having to always do when you're broke like that for both of my girls. But you just do what you can do and work with what you got. So she's actually gone right now, though. Anyway, she's gone to one of her friends' houses that she stays all night at a lot of times. So, and they went to the movies yesterday. My niece took them to the movies, and so that's where she's at. Anyways, today is at her friend's house. Looks like a tree limb has fell into the pond there. Had to be off of this big tree right here next door to the neighbors across the fence. But it ain't huge or nothing. I could get it out as far as that goes. But it's blew into the pond recently. It's had to. They got a pile of tree limbs and stuff over there, and then they got that big tree over there that's fell. That's been there for years, and they've never got it out or nothing. Of the neighbors here. Let's look at the neighbor's pond. I ain't gonna go all the way over here, but let's look at the neighbor's pond here. How clear it is. Yeah, there's where the algae and fungus and watermeal and all that gunk is going to. It's just going down, and there's actually another pond way down there to the other neighbors. And if y'all know the channel Appalachian Dreamers, it's her husband's family that owns that last pond down there. So that's who that belongs to. That's a part of their farm on that last pond down there, down that way. But anyways, looks like that's where the water's rotating and it's going with the algae and stuff, which it can always change its route and everything. But anyways, this is turning into a longer video than I wanted to do, but it is what it is. Y'all ever seen those statues like that? There's a little sad story that goes to those statues. Not this one, but I'll show you which one I'm talking about. My neighbors have them. And those statues like that are worth a lot of money from last time I ever heard anything about it. Like even at antique shops, I think the cheapest that they sell at is like $300 to $500, and that's at antique shops, you know, and that's damaged. So those type of statues, I don't know the name of them. I just know my neighbors always had them. His mother, when she was alive, she was the one that had them. and she was a good friend of mine. She passed away though in 2015 from cancer, and ever since I known her when I was a child and stuff, she had them statues. I don't know where they're at actually. They moved them because they used to sit on those little blocks right there of the neighbors. They had 2 of them. And I know you probably seen them before. Any of y'all that's into antiques or anything like that, I can describe what it looks like. It was a little, you know, BLACK boy, and he was holding a lantern. And the story that I was told that goes with that is it was actually a sad, true story, you know, and it is like racist, I guess you could say, but it actually happened according to what I was told, and that's so sad that makes it even worse. But what the story I was told on those antiques like that, those statues, figurines, or whatever, is there was a little boy like that, and he was actually holding a lantern. That's why he's pictured like that, holding a lantern. And what happened was, whenever our first president, George Washington of the United States of America, was president, and back then whenever they had horses and buggies, supposedly the president, or maybe it was one of his men or something, like one of his workers or somebody, but somebody involved with George Washington, or it might have been him, asked that little boy, you know, because that little boy was a worker, or whatever you want to call it, or whatever, back then in those times. And anyways, he was asked to watch the horses, I believe, is what he was asked to do for the president, George Washington. And it was like really cold and snowing when this was taking place. And what happened was that little boy froze to death. So that's a really, really sad story. And it's actually a true story. But that's what I was told. Now y'all can correct me always if I'm wrong. But it's one of those little statues that looks like that, but it's the one with the little boy standing up and he's holding a lantern. But that's the true story, supposedly, from those statues. And it's very, very sad, very, very sad. But, you know, most of the time, in any history, most of the time something, even if it just sounds like a fantasy or a story, most of the time something did take place for certain things like that to happen. So I believe it. I believe it's true. And that's really sad and unfortunate in all kinds of reasons and ways. But that's how those little statues of the little boy holding the lantern, I think he's wearing like a little hat. I forgot the name of those hats. And, you know, it's like the little round ones that are puffy. But then they have like the baseball cap front or lip or whatever you call it to the front. And then they're wearing like he's wearing like little suspenders or overalls or whatever. And he's holding a lantern. Supposedly that's the true story of what happened to those statues, the ones that look like that. Now the other one's the one I just now showed you. I have no clue what the true story of that is, but I'm sure there's some kind of story behind it. I think that statue, the one that my neighbor has, I think it used to be holding a fishing pole. So that's why it is sitting next to the pond anyways. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I can't remember. I'm going to show you too since I'm over here. Y'all see that big old rock over there in my dad's front yard? That right there rock. It's huge. It's ever since I've been alive and known of it, which they've moved it over the years at different places of the yard. They just recently moved it over there, it looks like. But it used to sit to the other side over there of the tree. And when I was growing up, it sit way further back, like closer to the mountain, out towards the middle of the yard. Then it seems like whenever I was even younger, it was out there really close to the barn, but close to that property line, or that ditch line across the mountain there. Anyways, guys, I am freezing. I got stuff to do. And so, house to clean. That's what my stuff to do is. I got a house to clean. I've always got something to clean, and I don't want to. But I put it off long enough. So I'm going to have to go inside and start forcing myself to clean something. So anyways, I think it is going to snow, and it was nice talking to you guys. Thanks those of you who watch and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all are really supporting me and helping me out to help my channel grow. Really appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a great day. Talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye.